You know the feeling? You walk into a big meeting, you're all set to present, and then you look at the conference table.
Oh, it's chaos.
It's a complete mess. It looks like a tech bomb went off. You've got tangled wires, these huge power bricks, adapters everywhere. It's just stressful.
It's immediate visual noise, right?
Yeah.
You're already annoyed before the meeting is even started.
Exactly. So today we're doing a deep dive into a piece of hardware that claims to, well, solve that specific headache.
Okay.
It's the Kramer T-IN6-REC1 baseline. Their tagline is in-table elegant tabletop connectivity.
That is a mouthful.
It's a huge mouthful for something that's supposed to be, basically invisible.
It is. But the idea behind it is solid. They're trying to balance that proven reliability you need in AV with, well, modern aesthetics.
Okay, so let's unpack the aesthetics first, because sleek is one thing, but that can sometimes just mean it's a pain to actually use. What are we looking at here?
I mean, what we're really looking at is a shift in design philosophy. Instead of tech that's shouting for your attention.
Right, with blinking lights and logos.
Exactly. This is tech that sort of whispers. The profile is incredibly low.
Yeah.
You have these narrow edges, smooth lines. It just drops right into the table.
And looking at the photos, I noticed something, or rather, something that was missing.
No screw heads.
No screw heads on the top plate.
Right. And that sounds like such a small detail. But if you're an architect or a designer, seeing a bunch of industrial fasteners on a $3,000 mahogany table is a total deal breaker.
So how does it stay in place?
It uses this hidden slide and lock mechanism to keep the surface totally flush.
Okay, I have to play devil's advocate for a second.
Go for it.
No screws. In a room where people are jamming HDMI cables in, yanking them out 5-10 times a day, is the slide and lock thing really going to hold up?
That's a big question, isn't it?
Or is the whole thing just going to pop out the first time someone gets a little too aggressive with a USB drive?
Well, the engineering is apparently built for exactly that kind of torque. It's a pressure fit system, so it's not just sitting there, it's anchored. And that whole lack of screws thing, it actually leads to its biggest selling point.
Which is not the looks.
No, not just the looks. It's about labor.
Ah, the installation process. I saw the documentation makes a huge deal about this, that installation and maintenance happen entirely from above the table.
Entirely. And think about the ROI on that for a facilities manager. If you're outfitting, say, 50 conference rooms.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
Right. Having your techs crawl under 50 different desks to screw in brackets from below. You're talking about days of work and a lot of sore backs.
Versus just dropping it up from the top and locking it.
Drop it in, slide the modules in, lock them. Done. It cuts that install time down like you wouldn't believe.
You said modules. This is part of their TBUS system. For anyone who hasn't used Kramer gear, what does that mean?
So think of TBUS, or table bus, as a modular ecosystem. This is a chassis that holds 6 different slots.
So it's not preset.
No, you're not stuck with a box that's permanently wired for VGA and an audio jack if no one uses those anymore. You mix and match what you need. Power, data, HDMI, USB-C.
Okay, so if we all switch to, I don't know, some new connector type in 3 years, I don't have to rip the whole table apart.
Precisely. You just pop out the old module, slide in the new one. It's future-proofing, but through its physical design.
That makes a ton of sense. Now, I also saw a note in here about sustainability, and I'm always a little skeptical when hardware companies talk about being green.
Feels like a marketing stunt sometimes.
Yeah, is there any actual substance to it here?
There is, actually. I mean, they've optimized their supply chain, but the really big one is compliance. It follows RoHS and REACH standards.
Which restricts hazardous materials.
Right, and things like minimal packaging. Plus, it's just built for the real world. It has all the global standards, CE, SCC, UL, and it operates from 0 to 40 degrees Celsius. It's made for an office, not a climate-controlled data center.
So let's talk price. Where does this actually sit in the market? I'm seeing a price around $288, which is down from an MSRP of $360.
For pro-grade modular AV gear, that's pretty aggressive. You can find cheaper plastic stuff, sure.
But they won't have the certifications.
Or the modularity, or the safety ratings.
Right. And I even saw a 10% off discount code in some of the vendor notes. So if you're buying a bunch of these for a big project, that's a decent saving.
It positions it as a really accessible upgrade for a lot of companies.
It definitely cleans up the mess. But this is where it gets really interesting for me. If we succeed at this, if we make the technology totally seamless and invisible and the table is perfectly clean.
What's the psychological impact?
Yeah. Does a sterile, clutter-free table actually lead to clearer thinking? Or I don't know, do we lose a little bit of that creative energy when everything is too polished?
Huh. That is a provocative thought.
Something to chew on the next time you plug in. Thanks for listening.